preparation kind of style that you're working over there, and everybody confident that real identities are not revealed here. And then this set, we talked about a whole system that will give people different kinds of activities to perform and or participate in, no pressure to do anything, but some mechanism by which they'll get ratings, and need to see if there needs to be some moderation for the rating or not. So I won't repeat everything, but let's go to the moderation part. What were you saying?
Just kind of the idea that it's going to be kept a safe place, or kept like I guess a no judgment zone would be a good way to put it. So eliminating cyberbullying, no hazing, and obviously those things aren't preventable, but it's something that can be dealt with in a positive way, whether that be reprimanding someone that is participating in the no hazing or cyberbullying, or just encouraging a positive environment. I think is really important to make the platform succeed, because without that, it's just not going to be a supportive feel, or like a beneficial, or like a growth mindset with it. I feel like too, at the end of the day, it's kind of where this should go. It shouldn't just be a temporary coping mechanism. It should be something that you learn learn coping mechanisms, learning ways to work through your problems and find what works for you, because everybody's mental health is going to be a different severity, and different things are going to work for different people.
Yeah, so to add to that, two thoughts as you were speaking. One thought over here we said is that it should have ways by which somebody who just wants to de-stress and doesn't really want to learn new things, but is there because you're totally stressed and you want to have a calm and quiet and peace or whatever, you're in here for that. And the second part is to build new skills and learn coping mechanisms. So I think to really think about those two.
Yeah.
And on the moderation part of it, linking it back to the first group of anonymous and all that, I think that's where you said that if there has to be a way to knock somebody out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And or if you are seeing things in there that are really red flags, then some way to a place where that information can be reported. I don't know. You have to think through. So that moderation probably is the mechanism through which you can sense when things are need to be highlighted and brought to attention to someone else.
Yeah, to kind of like go deeper, like I feel like it could almost be like a different type of moderator for almost like right here, like the doctor / patient privilege. Even having like doctor moderators, they're not necessarily moderating people to kick them out, but they're moderating the rooms that are where things are being discussed. It's like, yes, they're hearing this, but it's like
Steering.
right. It's they're steering them in the right directions if stuff is being talked about, like suicide and just important things to think about.
Yeah. So essentially, the moderation also is kind of a continuum, more or less, what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's something that ever could be like sufficient. You obviously could create an AI that looks for derogatory language, but it's only going to do so much. People can be really creative with words. So yeah, I think having some sort of like actual person monitoring chat rooms and
Or just listening in the conversations.
I feel like they could even interact if it was.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, I think it just
absolutely. Especially if you're talking about moderators steering the conversation, they
right.
should be interacting.
Exactly.
yeah, it's something to it goes away from the idea of anonymous, but if someone's continuously using like a foreign IP address or like a Tor browser, they could continue to like either
Oh my god.
create new accounts over and over again, because there's ways to like hide who you are. So it's kind of point of conflict where you want it to be anonymous, but at the same time, in case of emergency, you would want to be able to find who the person is. I don't know. That's
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
yeah.
Like you almost have to have them have like at least their email address or something tied to it.
Yeah, or I guess more. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if someone's continuously hazing, they have to have. I don't know, the idea of IP addresses, just being able to trace someone from their location.
Oh, just like block them and shit.
Yeah. Just, otherwise, I can just continuously make new accounts.
Yeah.
Because if it's going to be an intuitive platform that's easy to use, that also means that creating a new account is going to be quick and easy. But yeah, that's thinking just like someone that's just trying to troll it. So hopefully it's going to be either not an issue or.
I mean, that's the question. Maybe it raises a point. Should this be like a closed system in terms of not anyone can jump in, but people who actually have gone through some kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
I think having to pay for the platform to begin with is definitely important.
Straight away, everyone.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah.
just
Even $3, like
Right.
just any money at all, would immediately get rid of a majority of those people that would abuse the platform.
I think you should have the opportunity to be able to mute someone.
That's
So if
Yeah,
they're being
100%.
derogatory, then you can just mute them
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
report button or something.
Yeah, report button. It's
Which
important.
admin should be able to, whoever is, sort of moderators should have the ability to mute or.
I was also thinking for the moderators, they should get certified as well, just like that they're certified, just so they know that they're gonna keep the platform running stable.
So kind of moderators, okay. See, now the functionality is really coming out, right? Okay, let's talk about this group here. What did you have in mind here? Or this is a long one, or?
Yeah. I think that's kind of talking about how to group people and then what the features once grouped would look like. So finding people that, I think just something as simple as what you're interested in, like just a questionnaire, like what are your hobbies? Because especially with some of the social anxiety, if you get put in a chat room with other people with anxiety, you have nothing in common other than your mental illness. It's hard to start a conversation that isn't about the mental illness. And I feel like just starting to like a conversation or a decent relationship with someone is how you're gonna build that trust and kind of work from there to work on those issues and open up about them. So I think just not necessarily just what people are going through, but also what their interests are, passions, things of that nature. Just something like, I really like football, I really like hockey, or I'm big into hiking and biking. I love winter sports, I love traveling, I love Italian food, that kind of stuff. And then going from there, like chat rooms, vocal or typed. Let's see here.
Does this kind of tie to that side, which was like, the environment? So for example, a user comes into the system, a way to somehow guide them to the right room, some way to guide them to the right room based on their interests and, what their needs might be at that moment of time, and put them in the right room with the right setting, the right environment, and maybe other people who are looking for similar things, may not be identical but similar things, a way to do that.
This class is dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to move this.
Learned your lesson. What's this section?
But yeah, no, there's a lot of similarities between the two sections on the outside, like the middle and the outside. I think we actually did hit a couple of those things you were just talking about over here, like intuitive platform and walls, environments, inspirational quotes. I don't know, but I think this is one that we were talking about as like a prompt board or something to get the conversation started in a room. I think that'd be another good one, but then over here I think this is, this is just the mini game part. So it's a little bit different from just the actual achievement system, which I believe we have over here. This has to do just like with the type of mini games or type of achievements that we would be doing. So we have a few good ones here, you know, like going for a walk, like an outside challenge that you could just send like a picture of like the environment or something, you know, not anything of yourself.
You could, like have an anonymous Strava account or any sort of like
Yeah, type of deal.
yeah, and then upload that.
Yeah, and then pretty much just having like these tricks or tips that they're learning actually be something to do with therapy and everything like that. Whose is this one? I can't read it. Is this like in the podcast?
What's that?
Does it say like in the podcast?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, okay. Like the game in the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was that?
Uh,
I was just talking about that game that the podcast we previously read, how we have the game like to stimulate your brain.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, where you have like a chat room going and have the game going, so your brain's like ultra stimulated and you're not thinking about anything else other than the chat room or the game.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like an escape if you are just looking to get away for a moment.
Just have someone to talk to and just play a game or something.
It's stimulating, really stimulating. So other thoughts just don't get to you
Yeah.
at that time. Okay.
So I know for the podcast it was like 25 minutes a week, or like every day for 5 days a week, and it could be like a similar deal where you hop on there for like 25 minutes just to stimulate yourself.
Just to separate yourself from your issues
Yeah.
for 20 minutes, just to check out.
Yeah, like there's the games and there's the chat rooms where you can talk about your issues. There's
Right.
games that are related to your issues.
Okay. So there's lots in those three categories
Yeah.
over here, and if you had to just place some, stakes in the ground and say what it might be that can change, just so that as you explain this solution to somebody new, you're able to paint a picture of how it might look like, right? And part of it, they might say, oh no, we need this, that's okay. So you come into the system, like, you can say you have an option to be there like 20 minutes a day, set routine, and you have to do this, right? Or you can say you come in at any time when you feel stressed, and there are maybe two different pathways you get into. But once you come in, like in my mind, I'm thinking like the Headspace app, and you have all these different options, right? You can choose where you want to go at any time based on what kind of music you want to listen to, what meditation you want to think
Oh
about.
yeah, I like that. Different
You
like
have those options, and you want to join a group that's thinking about cooking right now. You want to join a group that's doing something else. I don't know. So some way to get options of who you want to join at that moment, at that time. Come in and join a hyper-stimulating environment. And not these words, but better words to say that. So some options, and once you get in there, you are able to, depending on the kind, you might just be talking to people over there, and there are moderators who are facilitating conversation, and depending on the room you selected, the kind of conversations might naturally revolve around that topic. So if there was a hockey room, then you're all just talking about hockey, I guess, or that's the starting point. And in each room there is a conversation starter, right? Kind of thing happening.
Yeah.
Some way to know that you're, maybe some activities to do or just chat and talk. Some activities in the virtual world that you all are cooking, or activities that are available right in there that you might be learning new things. I don't know, that's like.
Just like if you log onto the platform, I'm like imagining some sort of background or like cover page for the app or the game, and you have like two buttons you can press, and one's like escape reality and the other one's like work on yourself or something like that.
That would be kind of cool.
I think that, yeah.
Kind of two different directions you can go, and then kind of, I don't know, the idea of like a tree,
Yeah.
I don't know what that would technically be called. You got two trees and they just kind of trickle down. You get filtered into different areas.
Like that, escape reality.
I like
I
those
like
two
that, yeah.
options.
trying to think of a better way to say work on yourself.
Like solo or group.
Do that too. Yeah. It's like a group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a room that either you're gonna be with people that are just trying to decompress, or you're gonna be with people that are genuinely trying to work on themselves.
Okay, let's leave this here for a moment. You can save the recording, and let's spend some time on